Ricky, how you been?
Yeah, good. And you?
I'm doing well, thanks. So, are you putting the Triton in play? Have you found one that you like yet? The driver?
I have a fan one. I actually haven't put it into play yet. I've been traveling with it and practicing with it, and I mean it's hot. For us, we're real picky and particular once we need to put it in play and tee it
Yeah,
up when we're playing for
it's what you
real.
do.
But
Yeah, of course.
but no, I mean it's a very hot, low spinning driver. For me, I just gotta get one that fits right just because I'm kind of a lower ball hitting, higher spin guy. So I need to put all the pieces of the puzzle together, and I'm sure I'll have one here soon.
Are you playing the new irons?
Yes, I am playing the V6s.
Those things are sweet. I did a feature on them, in fact, in the truck yesterday. Those are the ones that Padre won with in Europe. I mean, I love the design. I love the look. I love the fact that it looks like a player's iron, but at the same time, you're getting the benefits of the forgiveness and all the rest that goes into it. Is that your take?
Yeah, I mean the progression of the V irons has been great. I've kind of hit them, from the beginning, from the V2s to the V4s. I actually play an F5 long iron, and then now the V6s. The progression of it has been awesome. I'm glad that they don't try to change too much because I like the irons so much that they haven't tried to, if
Right.
it isn't broke, don't fix it. And they haven't done that with this V6. And like you kind of hit it on the head, it's a great iron, player's iron with a little bit of forgiveness of the cavity on the back of it.
Yeah, yeah. I like the minimal offset and all the rest that goes into it. We're talking about the Wilson staff irons with Ricky Barnes, and again, he's playing off the tee at 11:55 a.m. this morning with Jason Bone and Sean O'Hare. What's going on in life for Ricky Barnes? How you doing?
Everything's good. Family's good. I wish my golf game was a little bit better the past few weeks. Had it going for a while at Pebble when I was able to play with Coach Belichick, and I think we missed the cut by one as a team. Um, I was cruising along, playing well. Didn't have a great back nine on Saturday, and just haven't been able to really finish off, a round yet like that, late in the tournament. But my coach was out this week here at Honda. Did some good stuff on Tuesday and Wednesday. Before the rain came yesterday, we were able to get out there and do some stuff, and
Yeah.
I look forward to starting something good here out in Florida, um, and getting back on track.
What's it like being around somebody like Coach Belichick? I mean, because I don't care if you're a fan or not fan of the Pats, but whatever it is, obviously he's a winner at what he does. But the way that he goes about it, he just I can't even explain it. I mean, how do you explain his personality? What's it like when you're around him as a person day in and day out?
I mean, I've been fortunate. This was the fourth time I was able to play with him at the AT&T, but I mean, now it's just different. I mean, you see him on TV and the sidelines and his demeanor, and
Yeah.
the guy that I know that I play golf with on the AT&T, is a total different kind of guy and perception of it than what
Really?
you would see. But well, I mean, he goes. You could tell why he's so good. He kind of just asks either the players or the caddies, how far do I have, and he doesn't question it. I think it was kind of like if I asked him, what play should I be running here? I'm not going to question. Oh, do you really think that?
Right.
I think it's just one of those. Okay, these guys are good at what they're doing, and if I ask them a question, I'm going to do it. And he's great. I mean, you can ask him kind of any football question and stuff like that, and great. Like I said, a great relationship. He's always been real supportive of me with emails or text, and if I have a question, and sending something for my wife and I's foundation back in Stockton, California.
Yeah.
It's just been, I mean, it's been an enjoyable. I always get stoked when I hear that, because usually they don't make the decision until kind of later in the year. But I always get excited when I hear that coach is going to come out and play with us.
Do you think that when you were talking about, he asks the questions, he gets the answer, and he executes on the information that he's given without getting too deep into overthinking it or self doubt or doubt in general? Do you think that overthinking in golf can be a poison?
I mean, for me, yes. I think it depends on the certain guys. I mean, some guys need a lot of information. I think you go in and get in the insides of a player caddy talk, and then you deal with a couple slow players or guys that get a lot of information. The new guys, a Bryson DeChambeau seems like he needs a lot of information. A Ben Crane goes through his steps of a pre-shot routine. I mean, there's certain guys I think that do need a lot, and then there's just certain guys that maybe the faster players that, all right, give me a front number, a pin number, and a target, and here we go.
What do you find then when you go from, as you were encapsulating it for as Ricky Barnes, you were saying, yeah, it had work and I was playing well, but I feel like my game's not exactly where I want it to be right now. What goes for you? Is it setup? Is it technical? You said you're working with your coach. How do you get it back on the tracks?
I think it's a combination. Obviously, going with your coach and seeing if you are swinging pretty well. But for me, and I feel like most guys, you got to transfer it over to the golf course. Getting under the gun a little bit, because I can go out on the range, and I've had a couple good warm-ups and practice sessions and practice rounds, and it just hasn't really clicked once I get into a round. And case in point, in Phoenix, I felt like I was playing good, well prepared, everything, and I went off and got off to a horrible start. I was like 5 over after 3 holes, and I think I shot 5 over for the next, and I was 5 over, and missed the cut. But like I said, you got to take it to the golf course. There's a little bit of mental side to it. My sports psychologist was out last week and kind of talked a lot to him. And being honest with yourself too is, half the battle, and what you're working on and grinding on, what you're thinking out on the golf course. You got to be in the present, kind of just take one swing thought out to the golf course and not 2, 3, 4, 5, and go with it.
When you're working with your sports psychiatrist, as you mentioned, is that something you do over the phone, or is that in person, or does it depend on circumstance?
It's a mixture. If he's out that week, I'll see him.
Oh, okay.
Before and after, maybe a round, or and he'll watch some holes and maybe give you some feedback of your, see if anything's changing. Hey, I saw, you normally take 20 seconds and you took, 40 there. Your routine sped up, slowed down. Just little things to be aware of. And then also, like I said, just kind of the pre-shot, post-shot routines. What you're working on and what you're focusing on out there. Not letting your mind wander too much, but not getting too far into it before you get to your next shot.
Well, that was a question I was going to ask you, is that, with everybody's golf swing, sooner or later people tend to go back to common faults or just innate faults, I guess, in some cases. Is it the same thing when you're dealing with a sports psychiatrist or psychologist? If you're dealing with someone and all of a sudden they go, you're going back into that thinking, or you're going back into that pattern that we've been working on. Is that common?
Oh, 100%. For me, in the past and stuff like that, the negative self-talk, and especially, not saying it out loud and, hopefully not really believing it. I mean, there's one thing to get mad, and, my sports psych, Smith doesn't, a lot of those guys will say, hey, it's fine to get mad. You can get mad and, grunt or, whatever your aggression is, and, act like you're going to, bend the club, but you don't. But, just not let it carry over. Be done with it right after you hit the shot. Get mad at yourself. And then once you start your walk to the next shot, the next hole, hey, be done with it. All right, now let's get into this next shot, because there's nothing we can do about the one you just hit.
Important stuff. Ricky, you're awesome, man. Thank you for joining us. You're going off at 11:55. I'm sure you're getting ready already. We appreciate the time that you spent with us. Good luck with all the Wilson stuff. I'm pumped up for you guys and the quality of what we're seeing coming out, and I wish you the very, very best as you move forward this week and onward.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me.